At least two Republicans plan to try and earn enough support to be the next Speaker of the U.S. House. President Biden says U.S. government funding for Ukraine is under threat due to political turmoil in Washington. And the largest healthcare strike in U.S. history. More than 75,000 employees of the Kaiser Permanente health system walk off the job.
Let's get you the headlines. U.S. President Joe Biden urges political leaders to change the poisonous atmosphere in Washington after House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is ousted by members of his own party. Rishi Sunak pulls the plug on the HS2 high-speed rail link to Manchester, saying he will spend the money on alternative rail, road and bus schemes instead. Women to vote for the first time at a gathering of Catholic bishops from around the world in Rome. A range of issues, including blessings for LGBT Catholics, to be discussed. European Union leaders have welcomed an agreement between member states on asylum and irregular migration. The Pact on Migration and Asylum seeks to relieve the pressure on gateway countries such as Italy and Greece by relocating some migrants to other EU states. Countries not wanting to accept their share will be required to pay other nations to do so. A Kenyan hospital worker caught by the BBC trying to sell a baby has been sentenced to 25 years in jail. Fred Leparan, who worked at Nairobi's Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital, was filmed accepting $2,500 to sell a baby boy under the hospital's care. He was arrested in 2020 and found guilty of child trafficking, child neglect and conspiracy to commit crime. FIFA has confirmed the 2030 World Cup will be held across 6 countries and 3 continents. Spain, Portugal and Morocco will co-host, but only after Uruguay, Argentina and Paraguay have staged the opening 3 games. The 3 South American nations had claimed the right to host to mark the centenary of the first FIFA competition played and won by Uruguay. More than 200 items belonging to the late Sir Roger Moore are being auctioned today at Bonhams in London. Now, the items include one of the costumes worn by the actor when he first played James Bond in Live and Let Die, with the sale taking place exactly 50 years since the film was released in 1973.
In Cuba's capital, Havana, rescue efforts are underway in the rubble of a building that partially collapsed. Government officials say that the collapse happened inside a decrepit building inside the city's old Havana tourist district. Now, at least 1 person was killed, 2 others have been injured, and at least 2 people were trapped in the wreckage. That's according to rescue workers, and crews have endured wind and rain that hit the city. To Iran now, where activists have accused the country's morality police of beating a girl for not wearing a hijab. Human rights group Hengor then posted a photo of the 16-year-old girl that they say shows she is in a coma. Amita Geravand collapsed after boarding a Tehran metro on Sunday, and officials say she fainted and released CCTV footage in which she is seen being pulled unconscious from the train. Human rights group Hengor alleged that she was subjected to a severe physical assault by morality police officers. And on Tuesday night, Hengor posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, what it says was a photo of Amita unconscious in the hospital. And the BBC has not been able to verify the photo.
And the UK fears that Russia may try to target civilian shipping with mines in the Black Sea. The latest intelligence suggests that it's an attempt by Moscow to prevent an export of Ukrainian grain. Now, the United States has sent over 1 million rounds of ammunition in seized from an Iranian ship last December to Ukraine. It's a move that will no doubt be welcomed by President Zelensky, whose troops have been pushing on their counteroffensive against Russia with an ever-shrinking supply of weapons. But it's raised 1 or 2 legal questions, as our US correspondent Mark Stone reports.
The Pentagon has now confirmed to us that on Monday this week, just over 1 million rounds of small arms ammunition was transferred from American storage sites in the Middle East to the Ukrainian military. The ammunition was part of a seizure made by the US Navy in December last year. when American troops boarded an unflagged boat in the Arabian Sea. On board, hidden under fruit and vegetables, they found a massive stash of weapons being sent from Iran to Houthi rebel fighters in Yemen. Now, for months, the Biden administration has been trying to work out legal pathways to be able to transfer these weapons to Ukraine, where stocks are running very low. A NATO official said this week the bottom of the barrel is now visible. Now, the Americans argue that they have a moral case to be able to transfer from one illegal conflict, as they'd see it, and send these weapons to another conflict where a recognised government, Ukraine, is defending its sovereign territory. But United Nations embargoes require seized weapons to be destroyed or stored. The Americans have now used a civil forfeiture confiscation tool through their own Department of Justice to be able to get round this. The broader context to it all, of course, is a growing concern about how Ukraine can sustain this fight. Weapon stocks are low, and here in America, political meltdown on Capitol Hill has stalled funding for Ukraine, for now at least. And Ukrainian diplomats I'm talking to here are worried.